Judge Joe Brown's all-new barbecue sauce and seasoning. Justice in the form of flavor.
Law firms will take this as a retainer.
What? It must be a law firm where they hungry as hell. Now you gonna help me with this parole I'm dealing with?
Judge Joe Brown's all-new barbecue sauce and seasoning. Justice in the form of flavor. With one taste of our premium blends of all-natural ingredients, herbs, and spices, you'll fall in love with meat all over again. Judge Joe Brown's all-natural barbecue sauce collection is made up of 2 zesty flavors, original and spicy. There's only one way to bring order back to barbecuing. Just add Judge Joe Brown's all-natural barbecue sauce and seasoning, and you be the judge.
We got a real live mess.
So out of all of that, Judge, what I just heard, what I'm basically hearing based on me seeing the connection between LGBT, feminism, Pan-Africanism, immigration, is that all of them are components of the bigger picture of the Democratic coalition, right? So I'm here, I'm connecting the dots. This Democratic coalition, which at the top is the Democrat Party, AIPAC, and all of right up under the Democrat Party and AIPAC is the LGBT movement. When you look at Hollywood and all that kind of stuff like that, and so you're right, that connection is happening. Now, when I go back and look at history, the last time I saw this tried to rear its head was when the black lady in 71, 72, the Jamaican lady who was an immigrant ran for president. I can't think of her name. She ran in 71, 72.
Shirley Chisholm?
Shirley Chisholm, right? So I saw that Democrat coalition then, and so we're seeing it now again. So I'm hearing it. I was just putting all those pieces together. That Democrat coalition definitely is rearing its head again. And groups like these Masons and Eastern Star sorority fraternity members, they're in the background playing a role in it too.
Well, the Eastern Star and the Masonic thing are not supporting this. I can tell you that. They are not.
Okay.
They are very much opposed to it, and they're doing their damnedest to fight it because.
So what about D9 then? What about the fraternities and sororities then?
The fraternities and sororities have gotten co-opted. They were invented back more than 100 some years ago, the 4 black frats, 4 black sororities, to fight American apartheid, segregation. The pledging was hard. You beat the folk out on Hell Week that you didn't want in, and you tested the rest of them. So if they got caught by Sheriff Bubba and tortured, they wouldn't tell. So the whole point was to get free. Now, the masquerade that they did to operate behind, which was being social stuff, has become the thing. And you got sissy boys running around in pink with A5A stuff on, and Kappa.
But Judge, how can it happen without Masons and Eastern Stars when they're the ones who are the elected officials? They're the ones.
Look. Let me explain Let me give you a brief rundown on what that is. It's not what you think. First off, white people did not invent Masonry. It's 5,000 years old, and what
I'm
it is.
very clear that.
Okay, now you see that compass and the square on the emblem. I'm not going to tell you the secrets, but what it's about is 5,000 years ago, it arose all over the world. And what it was like going to school to become an architectural engineer. You started off being somebody that made bricks, then you learned how to lay them. After you learned how to carry them, then you got to cut stone. And you learn how to build out the designs, lay the right angles out, shoot the orientations and everything, and you wound up building monumental architecture. And because in the Middle East, China, it rose in China too, it rose in India, it rose in Mesopotamia, it arose in Northern Africa simultaneously to build these monumental structures. And in the process of teaching folk how to do this, you also found them building character. There is no particular religion that's affiliated with it. It can be anything, and it's been many types of religion, and it's ancient from all over the world. Now, there are myths about it told by those who don't know that it's some kind of demonic thing, but it's not, because you can be Hindu, you can be Jewish, you can be Catholic, Protestant, Episcopalian, Methodist, Baptist. You
But
could
Judge,
be Buddhist.
it appears that back then it operated different. But now these days, when you look at
What happened?
that was my phone. When you look at those politicians, they are the Democrats. They are Masons. When you look
Hold up. Just right now, I saw at the top. All right. Now, somebody wanted to jump in there, and the Shriners told him, said, "Hey, look, you're a newbie. You're just getting in this for political purposes. You got to prove yourself. You aren't even at the requisite level of Masonry to even move that far that fast. And what are you doing to prove yourself?" See, we have some questions about what your policies are and how they're going to affect the neighborhoods that would be dependent on you. That's not what they told me. That's what they told somebody else. And I'm listening. So what's happening is, wait a minute, you can't do this. And one of the problems that is not brought out that has to do with the negative propaganda is this. See, Masonry is about duty, honor, integrity, obligation, accountability, responsibility, bravery, courage, purpose, and a number of other things that humans hold dear. When you deal with the rainbow cult, they want to negate that, so they wipe all that out. So, in other words, what you're doing is the Democratic Party is essentially taking a stand that is anti what Masonry has developed over 5,000 years.
and that's what I'm saying. See, I'm seeing this for what it is. Now you just said that these imposters have stepped in to position, however they got there and how fast they got there. But somebody is not questioning them, or should I say, is not standing on what they're doing, because the very people who claim to be these Masons, they vote on this stuff.
Yeah, but they aren't Masons. We have a concept called clandestine Mason. In other words, somebody is fronting off on it.
So that means
and back in the days, there is a prescribed method of execution for somebody like that. They haven't done it in a very long time, but it's still in there. Remember, you're talking about,
Judge, it's time
like,
to
for example, if you get high
it,
enough in Masonry, you look at the pyramids, and if you're interested, you can find out how they built them. And you don't need aliens. It's obvious when you think about it. Oh, yeah, that makes a lot of sense. But you see, we don't tell.
Judge, let me say this.
Yeah.
Until y'all get the cutting throats from east to west, these imposters are gonna keep on taking over. You know what I mean? And so I get it. And see, look, it's no different than dealing with street gangs, right? Because as young people, we were in street gangs. And so the imposters, the sissy imposters, you know themselves in jail, and they were sissies in jail, and they come home still sissies quietly, and they want you to believe there's something that they're not. And so until you deal with them, they're gonna keep fashioning themselves as the real deal. So I don't know the difference, because if you're the ones that say you're the real ones and you ain't holding the ones accountable, that's the imposters. That's like a doctor and a patient fighting. I don't know who the doctor, who the patient. And so maybe the older ones that really ain't strong enough to deal with these new ones that didn't hijack. And that's what we're looking across the board with all this stuff. The hijackers have come in and nobody's holding them responsible.
Yeah. See, here, let me give you a scenario. About
Because
2.5 months ago.
These D9 members, these are not the same people that Dr. King and Supreme Court guy. These are not the same people, man. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, look. Let me give you an example of that. About 2.5 months ago, I was out in the hood in Memphis. So there were about 35 or 40 young men down at the other end of the block. So I said, I'm going down there. Judge, you can't go down there. Why not? They're dangerous. I said, the young black folk, I'm going down there. So when I got down there, it turned out they were Crips. Okay. I said, well, shake my hand. And I was kind of embarrassed because bad junior grade gangsters are giving me a handshake that I would be embarrassed to get from a 9-year-old white schoolgirl, right? And I said, you could crush my hand. I said, Tookie would have crushed it. Why you got his name in your mouth? Because he used to work for me when he was 14 years old. Trinity Avenue Elementary School in Los Angeles, California. Huh? So I told them, yeah, we knew him. You fine young man. His mama just kept wanting that check, couldn't get him out the swamp, so he became the baddest ass alligator in the swamp. Yeah. So they started listening. So I got all these 35 or 40 young men. You know what they're telling me? Say, we need leadership. In so many words. There is none. All these little punks up here trying to run this city, they scared to come talk to us because we'll whip their ass and take their money. They've got no respect. So how are we going to fit into anything in so many words where there's a hierarchy of command when there ain't none? You don't have any leaders that can go out amongst the people. And you certainly don't have that in Chicago. I met Harold Washington. Lady friend of mine I used to date was his chief publicist when he got elected the first time. I met Harold, Tom Bradley, mayor of LA, when I was 7 years old, and he was a cop on the beat where I lived. You see, these are some bad folk, and they ran stuff. They were real men. They could walk out on the street, say, hey, come in. And people jump because, you know, who got it going on? You know, this is in the tradition. This is Al Capone's city, badass muscle, and dailies and all of that. And you got strong men that ran it. Now you got little weak fools running around trying to push the rainbow. They sit at desks. They're being bureaucrats administering bureaucracies where they appoint a goddamn committee to steal money from the people. And the committee that they come up with comes up with a goddamn program that doesn't do a damn thing because you're still not talking about people who can get out and say, follow me, and somebody actually will. See, you got some weak administrators. That last set, Laurie Lightfoot, or whatever in the hell her name was. The hell kind of mayor you got for Chicago like that? This is Al Capone's goddamn city. You know, and his ghost is still haunting every damn thing. So you got that running Chicago? Hell no, it doesn't work. It ain't the dumb heifer does all of you wrong. When those boxcars got broken into an IC rail yard and all those guns got taken, they could pay for them because the damn fool went down there and took all the city money, and instead of giving it to responsible brown leadership, she wound up getting bamboozled with a dumbass and gave it to the brown street gangs. They started killing black folk. And then everybody is arming up. You got a damn war going on. And the fool don't know how to deal with it. We have to be more vigorous with the police. And the police are coming from the lower state Illinois going, let's keep the neighbors in line, boys. We got a great opportunity here.
Judge, how do you know about that? Who told you about that?
I know these things. That's my business. I ain't just Hollywood. I wasn't in that Hollywood bullshit until I got in my 50s. You know, I used to live on 71st and Constance 50-some years ago. I was doing an intern thing with a D.C. think tank, moving from D.C. back to Chicago, back and forth.
Them guns that you just spoke of.
Well, I know about this. I used to represent a whole bunch of gangsters. I still have connections.
I guess. But I mean, at the end of the day, this Democrat coalition.
Bunch of bullshit artists trying to spread all this feminism on the damn planet.
Oh, without a doubt, it's all connected. So when we look at mass immigration, we look at this whole plan of mass immigration. It is directly tied into the rest of the Democrat coalition. I've been saying this on social media. I've been telling people, don't just look at the immigrants. You got to look at LGBT. You got to look at the Pan-Africanists, some of the talented 10th. You have to look at the feminist movement. All that stuff is all joined into one. That's why you can't say something about one without the other stepping in for the rest of them. And so that's why I'm saying to people, we're gonna flip red. That throws it all the way off.
That's it. And you don't have to like the Republicans.
Right.
Every goddamn ethnic group in the United States, periodically, that says, the hell with them. They're too damn used to us. Let's flip over to the other side. Don't give a shit about what their policies are. We just give them our votes and they say, okay, damn, we can get the Irish. Oh, shit, we can get the Jews. Oh, we can get the Chinese. We can get the Koreans. We can get the Negroes. Goddamn. Sure feels good. See, our dumb ass, we sit up there and we belong to the party of the plantation owners.
Don't even know it, do they?
Don't even know it. Got slave plantation up in our hearts. We scared to leave. Massa been good to us. We love to Massa. Oh, Lord. Please, Massa, you been so good. We just so glad you so nice. God damn it. If you always vote for one party and they don't do shit for your ass, and you never vote for the other party, no matter what they may be thinking about doing for you, neither one of them has a goddamn incentive to do shit for you.
Right.
And meanwhile, too many of them are Q. You know what Q stands for? Queer and questioning. And a whole bunch of them question, and they did the 6B routine. You know what 6B is? Unbelted, drop breeches, drop boxers, bent over, spread butt cheeks, got boy banged. And they sit up there and they've been initiated into the new religious cult. And we ain't getting a damn thing. And that means they can join a new crowd. They ain't got to be black no more. I can be whatever I want to be. Rainbow, yes, sir. Yeah. God damn, sure feel good. And then they run around trying to spread all kinds of nonsense. And anytime somebody tries, why are you voting Democratic? It's messing you up, boy. Hi, all you coons voting for the racist. What the hell you think is going on with your situation?
Right.
You think it's safe? Well, see, there's a black thing. It ain't nobody's goddamn thing to be killing yourself off. What's the matter with you?
So
goddamn dogs get unruly in the kennel.
So what kind of phone do you have?
iPhone.
Okay, yeah, you have to get the plugins.
No problem.
Because it's the thing.
Sorry for doing that, but you know.
I want Mark to, I'm gonna give Mark the last word. A couple more topics that I need to finish up with the judge, but I said I want to have Mark be more consistent coming on, my platform on YouTube and coming on this show. It may not be every week, but at least every other week.
Okay, come on, brother. Let me shut up. The old man.
No. I'll give this information then because I'm getting ready to. I have to get with my daughter anyway. And I just wanted to make sure that I came on. But when it comes to this mass immigration here in Chicago, it is definitely all connected to this Democrat coalition because those groups don't have enough numbers. They're not big enough. Starting with them Zionists. And people don't know that when it comes to the Zionists, man, they're less than 1% of this country. Less than 1%. And even in Chicago, I often have told them, shut up. Y'all not in no power to be talking this talk that y'all talk. Y'all like the Wizard of Oz. You're just a little Jewish guy behind the curtain. And the big fiery face is an illusion. You ain't what you put on yourself off to be. And so I just shut them down and meet. I don't even allow them to talk.
May I add one more thing here you need to know? Mm-hmm. We are all interested in reparations. And you're talking about that other issue right now. Dana didn't believe me until I showed her. Do you know who the Black Caucus has Congressional Black Caucus as chairman of their reparations committee?
Yes, a Jamaican, the Jamaican lady.
No. He's a gay, white, Jewish guy named Steve Cohen, congressman
Out of Tennessee?
Out of Tennessee for the 9th district.
Sure is. You know what? I heard about that. Somebody was saying that to me in one of the rooms. Steve Cohen, out of Tennessee, was involved with the reparations.
He's chairman of the Congressional Black Caucus's Reparations Committee, also for the the equality.
The congressman down there where you are.
Yeah. And
I heard about that.
It's 92% black in his district. He's been the congressman for 19 years. His landmark piece of legislation is a binding resolution saying that congressional cafeteria has to use paper straws. But he is head of the he's head of the reparations committee for the Black Caucus and the Equality Caucus. So that's one reason we ain't.
Huh?
Yeah. So
can you let Mark talk? I'm saying, can you let Mark talk? You kind of
that information you need to take back to Chicago. See, that Democratic Party is committing fraud on us.
Oh,
they got a gay white Jew boy running the Black Reparations Committee through the Black Caucus.
Immigration and everything. When it comes to immigration, this mass immigration, all that stuff is all connected. And so
I'm not getting on the Jews. They got a right to advance their own interests, but ours are not getting protected.
No, but I'm saying when it comes down to it, they all are together working against the interests of us. And since they want to get in our business, I'm going to address them. I'm going to address the gay community, and I'm going to address the Pan-Africanist community, because the Pan-Africanist community is being funded by, you know what I'm saying, MacArthur Foundation, Ford Foundation, all these different groups. And so when I see a Ron Daniels and Conrad Warriel and all them before they died, I watched all of this happen. I live in Chicago where all these national organizations, these national do-nothing organizations are, and they're not building anything. They're not hiring anybody. And I'm talking about the Nation of Islam, Operation Push, the Hebrew Israelites, the Moorish Americans, the AKAs are headquartered here. All these different groups are headquartered here, and we still have the highest unemployment, poverty, crime, more immigrants coming in, illegal immigrants coming into this city, and they don't have anything to say. And so since they don't have anything to say, and now that we're older, not only are we going to take the bull by the horns, we're going to flip and use the Republican Party against all these so-called Democrat leaders. And it's causing an uproar in this city because they can't control us. You know what I'm saying? You can't call the Masonic Order or the D9, or you can't even call the police on us. You know what I'm saying? You know, hey.
Good for you.
We going in a different direction from those who have sold us down the drain, and we running our own candidates. We've been meeting with the Freedom Caucus. The Freedom Caucus are those white, racist, Republican state reps and state senators, and we come into an agreement that we must work together against immigration, and we need y'all as committeements, with our commitments, to slate these candidates after the primary, to dismantle the power that this Democrat Party has, from the governor's level to the House level, the Senate level, the county level. All this stuff is Democrat. The mayor, everything is Democrat. And a lot of these spots are black Democrats. The Speaker of the House is black. The Lieutenant Governor is black. The mayor is black. The Cook County Board President, these are black people. But they don't care about the interests of us. And since this is how y'all going to play it, then we're going to dismantle your politics then. We're going to mess up your elections.
Amen to that. Good move. Good move. See, in other words, what the hell are we getting out of this for supporting you?
Exactly.
See, but if you deal with the conservative white folk, they are for manhood, they are for womanhood, they are for childhood, they're trying to keep those,
they for education, you know, all the
keep
things
that cult the hell away from the children.
Yeah.
See,
and
so what have you got to lose?
Like Frederick Douglass now. This stuff didn't come from no white folks. This stuff came from black people. All this stuff, when you hear them talking about God, country, and family, and education, this stuff came from black people. These white folks ain't never had no damn sense. They never had no sense. Our people taught them the things that they've been pushing. Even in
Let me give you one more thing to take back to Chicago.